came in, and it's not looking good, Sprinkles, and I cannot believe it has come to this, but unfortunately we are going to need the basketball court and the swimming pool done by Friday at 3:32 p.m. on the dot.
Yes, Your Majesty.
If we do not have it done by that time, my hands are tied.
Right away, miss. Right away.
Yes, right away. I need it done.
I promise.
When were you gonna tell me?
What do you mean? Who are you? We're having tax report talks.
You seriously don't recognize me? When were you going to tell me that Hermsworth had passed?
You can't just talk to the Queen that way.
Well, I never voted for her, and she's my sister. She's not my queen. So when were you going to tell me?
Sister? The Queen has a brother?
Look, I tried to contact you. I sent a letter. But you know how the trails are dangerous in the dark. None of my messengers reached you.
You could have come yourself. I deserve to know that he had passed away.
How did you find out exactly?
The eyes of the world, the well of souls. He came to me as a spirit Hulandite. He had news, grave news for me, for you, for whoever this is. There's something coming. Something sinister and we can't stop it. I was given a seed and I've been told to grow it, but he told me as well others were asked to grow the seed as well. But the seeds are going to bring about our ruin and we're too late to stop it.
Ruin? I was given one of those seeds too. You know about them, huh? Here, I'll take you to see mine. Are you ready to go in? It's definitely
I'm
quite
ready.
the sight. Hold your breath.
Is this it? Is this what the seed becomes?
Yes, I don't know how exactly it grew so quick, or when it appeared, but this is what it is. We call it the thistle, and all my attempts to be rid of it have caused it to grow much stronger.
What did Hermsworth tell you? If we can't stop it, what can we do?
Sister, who is this?
I trust her with all my heart. That is all you need to know.
Well, if you say you trust her, then I will trust her too. He told me that we need to rebury him in the crypt, wherever he may be reburied. His soul and body is going to be able to hold off the thistle that I've planted in the crypt for at least a little while, because it's yet to grow into this here. And he instructed me, and you, to find the flame of the backyard.
That's nothing but a myth, and we all know this.
Wrinkles. Unfortunately, he may actually have a point this one time. Just this once. Long ago, our great-grandmother initially founded Solora. She founded it here, saying it was to protect the flame, though she never told anyone about its true whereabouts.
But if it was in this castle, could it have been lost when it was destroyed? In all your efforts to rebuild this castle, we still haven't found it.
Hermsworth told me there is a diary, our great-grandmother. We need to find her diary. It should take us to its location. We need to get into the archives and start searching for it immediately.
Well, that's the unfortunate thing. I have yet to actually build my library. I've been meaning to for a long time, but it's under construction. Ever since the war, most of the things went up in flames, and we'd be lucky if the diary even survived.
Well, I suggest then we use our building powers to get these archives back in action, don't you?
Yeah. I guess we'll have to work together. Again. Hey guys, and welcome back to the backyard and my library, which has been neglected for many, many months. It is about time that we do get to work on this. We need to get the archives set up so that we can hopefully look into more of the thistle. I'm a little bit concerned about it. It's still in my greenhouse. It still exists in there, but hopefully we'll be okay. But we're gonna be working on the library today. Now, I've actually already gathered up a bunch of the materials for this, which I might show a little bit of the montage of me gathering spruce wood because it was a very long day of gathering spruce wood. But yeah, I have a lot of plans for this library. I don't know how much I even want to talk about it before getting into it, but I do want to get started on this pretty soon. There is one thing, though, that I don't actually have that I will need for this library, and I have a very brilliant idea of using some player heads as like little books. I have a few of them in my greenhouse, but I'm gonna need a few more. I'm gonna need a few more of these things to put around my library, so I'll have to get up to that before we can begin. So I've been doing a little bit of building, and I also decided to breed some butterflies, and it seems that one of them has decided to tear down my door. But yeah, been making some progress here in the library. I am adding some railings right now just around the stairs because that seems like a good idea because we don't want to get sued in this castle. I mean, we are the government, so we can kind of decide what laws apply to us. I think that's how it works. But you know, not getting sued for like OSHA violations, even though this castle probably doesn't even have OSHA compliancy in any regards. You know, it's probably a good idea just not to get sued by people. I'll put in some railings. I don't know if I'll keep it this color, because now that I'm looking at it, a little bit too much spruce in this area, so. But yeah, the castle is going along very smoothly, and it's been a lot of fun. I got a villager in. This was not a lot of fun. I had another raid at my base. We don't need to talk about it. But I got a villager in who's the lead librarian to this area, I imagine. I've added a few decorations downstairs in the basement. I've added a nice fireplace with a bunch of decorations around it. Oh no, the butterflies are getting out. Oh my goodness. Why? I'll just block up the door like that. We have a butterfly on the loose, but it's okay. I'll just let it be free. I've had a few people stop by and make some donations as well. Sprinkles has left behind some brown mushroom blocks, which has been a big help, especially towards the outside of the build as we start getting around to the exteriors. And Billy has left a lovely addition of mud and deep slate. Cece's also given me some deep slate too. I'm very happy to have so much support. It's very nice. Everyone has been so, like, genuinely really helpful with this whole process, and Sprinkles has even added a few new areas herself. So, you'll just have to go see Sprinkles' video if you want to see the rest of that. But, I'll have to get back to work on the library. Bit brown. It's a bit muddy on this side. I might have to add some extra colors in. I don't know. Well, I've built this library. It's been a long one. Lots of building today, and I am surprised in how I did this. Honestly, it took a lot longer than I thought. And there's actually quite a few details that I did have to cut out because they took a long time. But just for an example, Lumble stopped by very quickly, and he helped me make a secret. Well, welcome to my library and my castle.
Ah, I see. See, you still haven't found my secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel?
Yeah,
there's a secret.
It's how I get over here and how I escape from here now.
Okay. I won't question it. I don't need to know things in my own base. How hard would it be to make a door here? And thus began the great pumpkin redstone of my base. So now, we have this! A secret! Huzzah! And it looks really nice from this side and everything. He did a really good job. He used pumpkins, as is traditional for him, to make the redstone. So thank you so much to Lumble for helping with it. I'm still a bit at a loss on how I'm supposed to close the door, but it's okay. Mason's gonna be building the archives here. I'm sure we'll get something very exciting here eventually. But we do have the entire library outside of the archives pretty much done, unless I've forgotten something, which, you know, isn't that surprising. We have 4 levels actually to this place, 5 if you want to count a few little areas, but we're doing a free cam here. We have the ground floor, and I've labeled the different areas. We got Solora, history and literature, geography and oceanography, nature and wildlife, all those kinds of good things. Then we got the main ground floor here. Or I guess this isn't the ground floor, this is level 1. We got level 1 up here where the librarian lives, and we have lots of like desks to work at, some places to read and lounge. And in certain areas we have little in-between floors, like here, where we have a little pocket of an area where you can hang out. There is another one over there. But yeah, in this corner, which I definitely didn't do just right this second or anything like that. No, I definitely didn't forget about this corner. There is another like study area up here, and this staircase through here goes all the way up to the very top of the library. The only other area that's kind of hidden and secretive is kind of this area down here, which is the cartography and maps area. Some like desks here and a bunch of scrolls, which would be a bunch of like maps and I don't know, scrolls about area. I don't know what other kinds of scrolls there are, but there's scrolls here. Then going up a level, we have this second floor. A whole bunch more books. There's a lot of books in this library. But I'm gonna actually change the shader pack to BB. I think it's a little dark. We'll do BSL shaders because it's a little easier to see. But up here, we have a lovely fireplace and everything like that. Lots of books. I was explaining to some of the other members on the server this a while back, but what is the point in a castle if you're not going to have a massive library? So up here we have a bunch more books. Our fiction section, the best section. I probably should have made it bigger, but we got it up here. We got some areas where we got some books going up. We got some little desks and stuff. This staircase goes down to this area again. But yeah, that's the whole library. I got my chandeliers in. This one, I moved up a whole extra layer. I actually tore the whole thing down just to move it 1 block up. And yes, they're not even, but I think it's fine the way it is. We also have a balcony up here on the topmost level. Looks out onto the world. And we got a tree out here. We got our connection to what will eventually be the military headquarters connecting from over here. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. It is kind of a labyrinth in my library, and I feel like that's fitting for the rest of the castle because this castle is a labyrinth. Everyone who comes here gets lost. So, actually though, in the time that I was building this, I did write a little bit of a book, you know. I gotta add some lore to the area, so, you know, if you want to read any of that, we got some interesting information. But adding on to the interesting information, Billy stopped by, and he left behind a book to add to my library's collection, and I love this. And I have invited the people on the server to donate a book of their choosing. They can write a book and donate it to the library. And Billy has written one, and I'm very excited to read it. The autobiography of Billy P. Rance. I'm so excited to read this. It's 31 pages long. It might be a while to get through all of this, but you know what? Let's begin. Billy P. Rance, or more commonly known as Billy Rance, was born on an unknown date at an unknown location. Billy's known history doesn't begin until the fateful day roughly 33 years ago when a kind Hobbit couple stumbled across the now toddler Billy Rance in the woods while foraging for mushrooms for their second dinner. They couldn't just leave him there, so they took him into their Hobbit hole, swearing to love him as one of their own. At first, he was feral and unruly, biting ankles, rejecting the kind couple's love, and organizing illegal gambling rings in his adopted parents. Billy began to contribute to his Hobbit community, working the potato harvest and planting IEDs along the road to prevent any meddling wizards from infiltrating the Shire and disrupting the peace. Many were lost. Eventually, Billy grew up and became a young man familiar with the region's history and Billy's various war crimes as a child soldier for the Hobbits. Balthazar, or Czar as Billy would later call him, stopped Billy to ask for directions to the cafeteria. Billy was conflicted. Normally, Billy would have dismissed the wizard, but he was heading to the cafeteria himself. He thought about bailing and running out the other direction, but it was pizza day, and Billy wasn't going to miss that sweet slice of pepperoni. He was reaching for that savory slice of cheesy goodness, his hand collided with Czar's. "Wait, you like pepperoni too?" they both exclaimed. It was guy love immediately. Maybe we have more in common than I realized, Billy thought to himself. All the misconceptions about wizards that plagued Billy lifted and a beautiful friendship formed. Out of the darkness, an orc ambush party surrounded the two friends. Billy tried to step up and calm the situation down, explaining that they didn't want to hurt anyone and were done with the war. He hit the ground hard, face down, when he rolled over and saw his best friend, a wizard, stumble to the ground with several bullets piercing his body. Billy saw red. After dispatching the orc ambush party, he fell to the ground to comfort Czar. "It's going to be okay, buddy. We're gonna get you patched up and out of here. We've got our whole lives ahead of us." All Czar could do was look up at Billy. "No, you have your whole life ahead of you, Billy. Live it for the both of us." Those were the last words Billy and Czar spoke to each other. It was a dark time for Billy after losing his good friend Balthazar. Believe me, he could have ended that war in a week had he embraced the rage and pulled all the tricks he learned as a child soldier for the Hobbits. But something was different this time. He knew Balthazar wouldn't want him to kill in his name. After all, they were trying to escape that life before the loss of Tsar. So Billy wiped his hands of the Middle-earth Army reserves and just kind of floated around the world for a while. He wasn't ready to go back to his adopted family. He had seen things over the last few years and needed time to recover and rediscover. He sold a bunch of pictures of his feet to a strange but nice elf man he met in a tavern. That payday floated him for a long time. Eventually, though, in his travels, he was adopted by a new family. A family that brought him home to the backyard, where he started to write his happily ever after. That was the best book I've ever read in my life. Well, I think we need to find a space for this book now. It's very important. Very important. A Hobbit's Tale. This is one of the most important books in our library. I really am so happy Billy wrote this. Well, we have to find the correct spot for it in the library. We got religion here. I mean, it could go with religion. Oh, look, God just joined the server. Speaking of religion. Can God write a book for my library? This is lovely. We've got God on our side. We got God writing a book in front of a fireplace. Yippee! Okay, let me just find my history section real quick. That will go in the religion section, whatever he writes. The engineering, architecture, I don't even know in my own way. World history and politics. Do you think this counts as world history? I think so. Let's grab one of these. Librarian doesn't need it. I'm going to put this here. I'm gonna put it down here, actually. We got Hobbit's Tale. God is completed. The kids laugh. Oh, he's gone. Just disappeared. I cannot wait to read this. 2/10/24. I've spent the last few hours baking. The summer has brought along such sweet nectarines this year. I think they will all love it. Today was one of those days where you can just sit back and feel the warmth of the summer sun. It was a long winter, but the kids were great. There was fighting and drama, but they made up. They really all are growing into such amazing young people. Each day I'm in awe with what their imagination can bring to life. Just last week I saw them building a castle out of cardboard and painted it with some of those acrylic paints you got last year. I just can't wait to see what they come up with next. Dinner is ready. They can't spend all day outside. Well, we'll add that to the religion section. Wonder what that's about. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a long one, many things have happened, and hopefully in the next episode, we will actually get to work on figuring out all that stuff with the... Hopefully in the next episode, we'll have this thing figured out. We'll get some answers on whatever the heck this thing is. There's bamboo growing in here now. I don't remember planting that. Hopefully that's not connected to the thistle. I also have a little bit of a strange thing on my hand. I don't know if you can see it. I think when I was building this, something just must have like got on my hand and it's just like not washing off. But hopefully my hand will be a little bit better in the next oh, it's on both hands. Jeez. Okay, well, I'm sure it's nothing, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. And I really do hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you then. Goodbye.